Today we're at a dear friend's house, and she's graciously allowed us to video in her dining room to do for you a beautiful spring or Easter table for your entertainment through the Easter and spring holidays. You know, the difference between entertaining in the spring and entertaining at Christmas time usually is that most of the meals that we share during the spring holidays are done during the daytime hours. We usually have an Easter brunch or an Easter lunch, but not generally do you think of Easter as a time to have an evening meal together. So it takes on a whole different tone than the candlelight warmth of Christmas time, in that it's the vibrance and the new beginnings of spring in the springtime. And so the major difference in entertaining during this period is that, of course, you don't use candles. You never burn candles on a table before 5 in the afternoon. You know, there are some times that there can be a little bit of leeway with that. If you're having an open house that starts maybe at 4 or 4:30 until 8 or something that way, then I think you could get by with it. But generally, I would definitely not try to incorporate candles into daytime meal functions. But, you know, at Easter, everybody automatically thinks of bunnies and rabbits and all that sort of thing. But I thought it would be kind of fun to think birds for this Easter season. And we're carrying a beautiful line of decorative birds at the store this year, and also some other pretty accessories to go along with them. And I thought we'd talk about ways to really dress up your table and your dining room that can stay for the whole season. They're not just going to be limited to Easter itself. This is a look that you could easily install, say, the mid to the end of February, and leave it through May. You know, the first thing we're going to think about is this beautiful table. We don't want to in any way damage the finish on it, so it has to be protected so that we can use it. And the easiest way to do that is to limit the decor without, you know, getting too carried away width and lengthwise. That will limit the chances of your scratching or damaging the table otherwise. And you want to make sure that you keep any kind of moist surfaces away from the finish on the table, because it really can damage it. And to do that, usually just plastic under whatever you're doing will help. And I'll show you what I mean. These are just rolled plastic bags in the off-white color. But you know, they're not a real heavyweight plastic, but they will give you enough protection to protect your table from any kind of damage. And if you open the bag like that, see that double width of the bag will give you 2 layers of plastic to protect the table and still be light enough weight that it's not going to really interfere with your decor. And you'll see what I mean as we proceed a little bit here. But I'm just going to use 2 bags kind of end to end. As soon as you have your area protected in the middle of the table, then you're ready to start adding the decor. So I've gathered together some things that I really think are pretty and springy, and some of the new items that we had this year. And you know, you can pull from your own collection as well. You may have some feathered birds, or you may have some crystal birds, or some, you know, other kind of decorative bird elements that you want to use from your own collection. But this is a good way to incorporate them into your spring decorating. I brought some of these cute bird nests that have the eggs incorporated with them that I think are so cute. And then these little pairs of fat birds of some sort, but they're cute. They come in little pairs. And then I thought these were particularly pretty. They're a branch that has cast iron birds on the branch, and then it has metal leaves, and they're on this wire frame that makes it makes a pretty centerpiece, or a pretty accent piece in its own right for an end table or a coffee table. In this case, we're going to use it on the dining table. So what we're going to do is start with these beautiful boxwood topiaries. This is another thing. These are one of our most popular items all through the year. We use these at Christmas and summer. You know, these are the naturally preserved fresh boxwood, and they're a little bit more expensive than the artificial ones, but like I said, I think they're a good investment because they are something that you can use a lot of different ways, and they last a long time, and you can use them in many different seasons. You know, they're pretty on tabletops, they're pretty on a mantle, and of course here they're going to be beautiful on a dining room table. So what we're going to do is, I brought 3, and there's 2 this size that are the shorter single ball, like this, and then there's 1 of the taller ones. Now, what you don't want to do when you're arranging pieces, and this works in any design situation, is you don't want to wind up looking like this. You know, there are times when this works, but usually it's a little bit too trite. What we want to do is put 1 of the shorter ones at one end, and then we'll put a taller one and a shorter one on the other end. You know, we're filming this video from my friend's foyer, and the camera is pointed here towards the dining room. It's one of the first places where people look when they come in the house. So you want to have, you know, the table and things looking attractive. So actually your eye is going to see this first. So you know what, let's turn this around with that in mind and put a little more action on this end of the design, because that's what people are going to see when they walk into the front door. So we'll start with these, just the plain topiary trees, and then we're going to go ahead and cover the plastic, and then we'll accessorize. So what we're going to use here to cover the plastic is, you know, one of my favorite items is this beautiful fresh moss, and it's beautiful because it gives the look almost of Easter grass, but it has a much more natural kind of outdoor appearance to it. Now, if you don't have, or if you don't want to invest in the moss, there are a lot of other options that you have. This green moss, I'll have to admit, is somewhat expensive, but I think it's well worth the look. But you could also use, you know, I was thinking that one way you could do this beautifully for much less money would be use like a garden mulch. Use like pine bark mulch, or you could use the shredded, cypress mulch, you know, that would make it look like a garden setting. And then you could take just little bits of this green moss and kind of touch it through that the mulch, and it would still give you the green look. The nice thing about this moss is that once you do have it, you can use it over and over again, and it will last for years. Now, it's good if you can mist it occasionally, because it is a fresh product like the boxwood trees. Now, the boxwood trees do better too if you add a little mist to them about every month, because it makes a big difference in how long it lasts. So you can see that we're kind of doing this in a definitely asymmetrical pattern. We don't want it to be exactly the same all the way around. You want it to have a little bit of life, like it sort of grew here. You can see though what a beautiful green look this gives to the table. It really gets a beautiful natural Easter background going for us, and certainly something it's certainly something that people will enjoy looking at even in this state. But we're going to take it to the next step now, and which is start adding some of the cute little birds. These little branches of birds, this is the longest one that we have, and I think it's going to fit right here at an angle. And see, it kind of sets the tone. And then we have the shorter one, which can kind of go down at this end. We talked about how your eye is drawn to this end from when you walk in the door. So we're kind of doing an area of interest here. Now, I also, like I said, I brought these sweet little bird's nests that I thought would be fun, kind of tucked in around the topiaries, like so. And we'll do one down here, and we'll put one over here. item that we have this spring is we've had a lot of people ask just for loose bird eggs. So we're going to add a few of those. Now we don't want to, overdo it. Look like the eggs have dropped in from the sky. But a few really will add a really cute touch. We want them just to kind of be scattered randomly through the tablescape. So we've got that one and that one. Let's do, I like things that are asymmetrical, and so these nests all have the same amount of eggs in it, but let's change the topiaries out and do 1, 2s, and 3s. So we've got 1, and we'll do 3 here. 1, 3, 2. So that's a nice division of the eggs. We can put some more of them, kind of just tuck it out here on the lawn, so to speak. So it's sort of reminiscent of an Easter egg hunt as well as a bird egg hunt. And then we've got these other little feathered friends here that we're going to use. These are the individual little birds, and we'll kind of set them around. I think they're sweet in little pairs. Let's do one up here, like that. And then we'll do his little mate over here. He's kind of looking for him. Now we've got kind of our little birdscape going. But to kind of finish this up and to really give it a fun, fresh look, if you're going to use this now for a luncheon, this is pretty just like this. Leave it like this through the season. But when you're having company and when you're or at Easter Day or whenever you're going to have be entertaining, you'll want it to have a pretty fresh look. And there's an easy way to do it that's really inexpensive, and I'll show you. I've grabbed some of our Friday flowers, and these are little daisy chrysanthemums, which are so pretty and springy, and they really will give a nice finishing touch. But what I wanted to tell you is that one of the great secrets about these things is that even though they're fresh flowers, these are one of the few flowers that you can leave out of water for a long time and they will not wilt. They will sustain themselves for probably 2 or 3 days easily, and possibly even more. So this is something that you could easily do the day before, even putting the flowers in it, or if you're uncomfortable doing that, you could do it the morning of the brunch. The easiest way to separate these from the stem is either with the scissors or just pull from the bottom, just so that you don't break the flower apart. One of the drawbacks of the daisies is that they are a chrysanthemum, so if one of the petals comes loose, the whole flower will pretty much disintegrate. So we're just going to add just a few little flowers hither and yon, kind of just to give it a little bit of freshness. Remember that what I said about 1s, 2s, and 3s that's always a pleasing combination. So we've got 2 here. We'll put 1 down here at the end. We've got 2. Let's go back here and do 3. And they don't all, they don't have to be the same size. This really creates a fun tabletop experience for your guests, and it's really fun. It leaves you enough room to set the table around it very comfortably, and it also is beautiful in its own right when there's no china or silver on the table at all. So it's a good way to start the Easter holidays and spring holidays, and set your home in shape for your guests. So nothing says welcome like a beautiful tablescape.